I met Diamond at a music festival. We met through a mutual friend, and me and her saw each other,
Yeah.
and we just talked. We talked for a long
For
time,
hours
for
at the
hours. Yep.
festival.
Yep. She said she was a vegan, and so I was a vegan at the time, now a vegetarian. But it was like,
Honestly.
oh wow, you like vegetables and fruit too.
Right. Apparently, that made me attractive.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But what really made her attracted, what really attracted me to her was that eventually the group met up. I was like, oh, do you want to go with them and hang out with them? And she said, well, no, I want to stay with you. So I was excited. And
Yeah, we just talked
yeah,
for
talked about.
hours. At some point, we parted ways.
Mhm.
Not sure how he got my number, but we stayed in touch.
I'm happy I did.
In time you get involved. It's our God, He cares about us. So wait on the Lord. Wait on the Lord. Wait
And I feel like we were both in a very similar space where we were content. We were content in our singleness and just pursuing God and pursuing what He had for us and waiting for Him to move when He was ready. So I know I had just told some friends, like, I just want to fall more in love with God. And I was in that space where I was just so happy with Him. Yeah, I feel like it's the same for you.
Yeah, I literally that morning, I literally talked to my best friend, and I was telling him how, like, for the first time in my life, I felt that I was content with whatever God had for me. And because I had spent seasons of being depressed and just stressing over it. And I felt like, I got to believe in God. Like, this is what God knows best. And if I haven't found someone now, then it's just not His time. And so she felt the same way. So God allowed two content people to come together and realize how much it would be great to be together.
Good timing, Lord.
Yeah.
I was most attracted or drawn to the fact that he was very respectful. In every interaction, every conversation, he just respected me as a woman, respected me as a child of God. And so it was a very different experience from what I was used to. But also he was really intentional. Intentional in pursuing friendship, intentional in transitioning from friendship to dating. And so I knew he wasn't playing games or kind of just waiting around for things to happen. He knew what he wanted, and he was letting the Lord lead him accordingly.
Diamond had a heart for God. Like, I know that her heart was very sensitive to the leading God's leading in her life, and kind of stalked her on social media a little bit. But I saw she's a writer, so her posts and her blogs were just so encouraging. And I think one thing that really stood out to me was that she was, like, really seeking the Lord in service, like serving at her church and children's ministry, mentoring young girls. That, like, was super attractive. First and foremost, she's an attractive woman anyway. So that was physically, I was like, she's beautiful. So that was first and foremost, but everything else just was icing on the cake.
I had been praying for him before I knew who he was for a long time. And I had just let the desires of my heart be made known to God, and he is all of that. He is every single thing that I prayed for and more. And in spite of, my past and the craziness that is life, God just blessed me so incredibly. And I don't always feel like I'm deserving, but God wanted the best for me. And so in every conversation, every interaction, every time we're together, I literally feel God's outpouring of love through him. So I just feel really, really blessed. Yeah.
You're gonna make me cry. Just God's leading in a relationship and leading me as the man. And I really feel that God He's been my example, basically, and showing me what to do and crafting me into the man that He wanted me to be. I attribute everything to God. His hand has been on this whole relationship. And I think a lot of times we're like, this is kind of too good to be true.
Yeah.
Like, when is it gonna go wrong? But we've just been enjoying it, and just God's faithfulness. Like she said, she was praying, I was praying as well, and God has just led the whole time and continues to lead us.
I would say find everything you need in God. I think sometimes we feel like another person is going to fulfill us or complete us or make us happy or whatever the case may be. And God should always be your source. You need to go to Him for your joy. Go to Him for your peace. Go to Him when you feel lonely. Like, God is there for you. He will send you someone that will compliment you, but He's not going to send you someone that would take His place in your life. So really put Him first and pursue Him, and He will give you the desires of your heart.
Amen. I would agree with that. I would just say be thankful and be grateful for where God has you right now in life, and steward your singleness. Like, devote yourself fully to God. He knows your heart's desire. He knows how He created you, your preferences, what you like. We have what we want, but God knows what we need. And so in the right time, like He's done everything else, in the right time, God will allow those paths to cross, and you'll be so happy that you waited. So I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. I know everything in the world and society is telling you that you need someone, but the only one you need is Christ. The only one you need is God. And when He brings you a partner, He brings you a partner not to complete you, but to, what's the word I'm looking for? Compliment you.
Yeah. Love is intentional. Love is unconditional. Love is, I don't know, it's just all encompassing. It kind of knows you at your worst and accepts you for who you are, but still pushes you to be better. Love is God, which everything God is. He is merciful. He is forgiving. He is patient. He just draws near to you. That's what love is to me, and I see all that in our relationship as it's continuing to grow. It's just all these aspects of God and His character. That's what love is, and that's what I see in you. I do.
Thank you. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is committing your life to a person for the rest of your life and knowing that that's the person that you want to be with forever. And so I want to take this time.
This is actually not even happening.
Diamond, I love you so much. You've meant so much to me. I know we tell each other this often, and I mean it with all my heart, that you have never met a person like you before in my entire life. And you bring me so much joy. You're everything I prayed for and more. And I know you weren't expecting this, but I couldn't see myself being with anybody else for the rest of my life but you. And I know that for sure with all my heart. And I tell you that, and I really mean that with all my heart. So it would bring me so much joy if you would be my wife one day.
This is the craziest thing.
Diamond, would you marry me?
So I will marry you. This is wild. Okay.
That's kind of big.
It's 'cause of my hair. That is crazy. That is crazy. I cannot. I got the video. This is hard.
I didn't know I was going to get you.
I'm actually disappointed in myself. I'm not expecting this at all. I am so grateful for you two. Oh my God, okay.
Good job, guys.